those are punchy odds.
Because all I'm hearing is safe, safe, safe.
This stat is going to blow your mind.
Who saw that coming?
Told you I was right.
Welcome to Weekend Wager, where every Friday afternoon we use in-depth stats and razor-sharp analysis to unearth the best value bets from the upcoming sporting weekend. I'm Will Pugh, and helping me this week is football journalist Kwaku Afari and a man full to the brim with betting expertise. It's Betfair's Mr. Sam Rosbottom. Sam will be judging which of our punts are most on the money and, of course, revealing some hidden value wagers of his own. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and let us know what you think of our bets in the comments.
Told you I was right.
Gentlemen, absolutely wonderful to have you with us. How are you getting on?
All good, all good.
It was the Weekend Wager derby, was it not? Your beloved City, Sam, getting one over on Kwaku's Chelsea.
Well, I'm absolutely ecstatic, not only because, you know, my boy City humbled Chelsea, but also because we're through to the Champions League playoff. Who saw that coming?
Out of the mighty have fallen. This is supposed to be a great Man City side.
Exactly, and it's just double Weekend Wager, Kwaku. My beloved Hammers go to Chelsea on Monday night in the Prem.
Yeah, I'm dreading that one. Chelsea are not in great form at the moment, so let's see how that one goes.
Exactly, mate. Look, talking of how things go, you've got a lot to live up to this week, Sam. Your deputy, James Mackey, did a sterling job last week. He picked 2 winners, but of 9 Premier League bets, Kwaku, just one of those came in. That was one of James's as well.
Told you I was right.
Gentlemen, there's only one place to start this weekend. The biggest Premier League game of the weekend, Arsenal versus Manchester City at the Emirates Stadium. Sunday, 4:30pm, Super Sunday game on the telly, second place, fourth. Both teams fresh off the back of Champions League wins. Kwaku, what are you saying?
Arsenal to receive a red card 17-2. Ill discipline has underpinned Arsenal not just this season, but since Mikel Arteta took charge. Arsenal received 19 red cards since he took over in December 2019, which is the most in the Premier League. Of course, it's been well documented this season, the red cards to Declan Rice, to Leandro Trossard in the reverse fixture of this game, to William Saliba against Bournemouth, and to Miles Lewis-Skelly, controversially, last week. 4 red cards a season, the most in the Premier League. I expect that to continue this weekend.
It's just not going to happen. It's not like the London buses thing, is it? 2 coming along at once. But
What colour are the buses?
Well, that is true, mate. That is true. But what are you saying about this Miles Lewis-Skelly thing? Because that's since been overturned. The Arsenal refereeing conspiracy, you having it?
Well, could you imagine the Arsenal fans if they get another red card this weekend?
Can you be more unbearable? Is unbearable as much as it gets, I think. Kwaku, I like what you're saying there, and the stats would tell the story. Whether or not that sort of 2 come along at once would be very surprising. You'd think the grief all the referees have got. In the back of their mind, they're going, the last thing I want to be doing this week is sending an Arsenal player off. I have gone for Gabriel to be fouled 2 or more times in the game. Now, I've got this off of a betting genius I know, naming no names, Sam Rosbottom. 4-1, that is right. Now, the Gabriel Haaland battle, which is going to ensue, Gabriel's been fouled 11 times in the last 10 games in all competitions. And Erling Haaland has committed 7 fouls in his last 11 games in all competitions. I just fancy them two, like you said already, Kwaku, they've got history, haven't they? I fancy them going head to head.
It's going to be a titanic battle. Those are 2 stalwarts of their teams. Gabriel, of course, he's been great for Arsenal this season. Haaland, despite the criticism, scored a lot of goals for City this season. I expect them to clash and come head to head.
Sam?
Yeah, it's certainly a key battle, and I think I've obviously watched a lot of Erling Haaland, and I love him, but he can get very frustrated when things don't go his way in a game. And I can just see things boiling over.
And you know what, as well, Gabriel's one of them like man-mountain defenders, isn't he, right? And he's sort of winning all the headers, winning all the tackles. Arsenal fans absolutely love him. But he's also one of them that infuriates opposition fans. He gets the lightest touch on his face, the lightest nudge in the back, and he's down, winning fouls and free kicks for his club. Right, Sam, so we've got Arsenal to receive a red card, which is Kwaku's at 17-2. I'm going Gabriel to be fouled 2 or more times at 4-1. What do you make of them? What have you got for us?
Both very compelling arguments, but I'm going to side with you on this one.
Gosh.
I can see it being really heated. Looking at some other markets that have taken my fancy, Josko Guardiola to have 2 shots or more in the match at 11-4 is a tasty price for me.
Has anyone sort of ever referred to you as Hat and Garden before? Because all I'm hearing is safe, safe, safe.
Well, look, 11-4, I think it's certainly one of those that you can throw into a bet builder. Set pieces as well could be big in this game. Look, he's had 12 shots in his last 8 Premier League games. He's the Premier League's top scoring defender at the minute.
Yeah, 5 goals, is it? Yeah.
He's City's 3rd top scorer.
Crikey, well, are you having that? Because that stat in itself, isn't it? The fact Guardiola's City's 3rd highest goal scorer of the season tells a story about City rather than Guardiola.
Yeah, well, if you look at Man City, the composition of the side, Pep Guardiola doesn't really like to go in the market and buy fullbacks. So what he's done, he's bought centre-backs and he's played them out wide. Yeah. And Guardiola's shown that he's got the soul of a striker, a soul of a forward. And you've seen him this season, saw it in the Chelsea game firsthand, that when he gets into the final third, he is lethal. So I like that one, Sam.
Yeah, it's very much the London buses episode, gents, is it not? We're going for 2 Arsenal Reds on the bounce, 2 Guardiola goals on the bounce. Look, as always, if you're having a bet this weekend, please play responsibly. Take time to think and visit begambleaware.org.
Told you I was right.
Right, gentlemen, another huge game in the Premier League this weekend. It's the second week on the bounce we're doing Wolves. Wolves versus Aston Villa, Midlands derby, Saturday 5:30. It's on the telly. 18th plays 8th. Kwaku, what are you saying about this huge game?
Huge game. Ezri Konsa to score 12-1. Stick with me.
What?
Stick
What?
with me.
Ezri
Will.
Konsa?
If you think about this Villa team, they've suffered of injuries. Look at the injuries to Pau Torres, Tyrone Mings, Amadou Onana. They've shipped Diego Carlos off to Fenerbahce. If you think about Ezri Konsa and his threat in the box, he's only scored 1 goal this season in 21 games.
1 in 21, mate.
He'll be their focal point when it comes to set pieces. And on set pieces, Wolves conceded 303 Premier League fouls this season, only second to Bournemouth. So there's going to be a lot of balls going into Wolves' box from Aston Villa. So I expect Ezri Konsa to be busy. And before you jump in, I've got another stat for you. This stat is going to blow your mind. Wolves have shipped 19 set-piece goals this season, excluding penalties, which is the most of any Premier League side. The earliest side to concede 20 set-piece goals in a single campaign is 25 games, and that was Spurs in the 07-08 season. I expect Wolves to beat that this weekend.
To be fair, Quaker, at first, I'm hearing Konsa. He's never involved at that end of the pitch whatsoever. 1 goal in 21, like you said, I thought it was absolute waffle. But to be fair, you have talked me around with that. And at 12-1 as well, it doesn't sound too bad.
No one can say he's not done his research,
No,
right?
that is quite true. Yeah.
Very, very compelling. Almost got me sold there. Konsa 5-1 for a shot on target.
Be brave, be brave.
Right, gentlemen, Jorgen Strand Larsen, talking of bravery here, Wolves' striker, to have 2+ shots on target in the game at 5-2. I know that doesn't sound particularly daring, backing a striker of a team to have 2+ shots on target, but listen to these, right? And at 5-2, I think this sounds like a bit of good value. Only Tottenham's Dominic Solanke, with 237, has had more runs into the opposition penalty area than the Strand Larsen this season, who's on 210. And 80 of those 210 runs into the opposition penalty area have been targeted by passes by a Wolves player. I couldn't find touches in the opposition's penalty box on the Betfair market, Sam, unfortunately. But Strand Larsen as well has had 10 shots on target in his last 8 Premier League games. And in those 8 games, only twice did he fail to have a single shot on target. With the Tyrone Mings knee injury he picked up against West Ham and Villa's general defensive frailties, I fancy they're going to be getting a lot of opportunities. So 5-2 there for Strand Larsen's shot on target. Sam Quaker's gone Ezri Konsa to score at 12-1.
Those are punchy odds, but I'm going to side with Kwaku. Konsa to score 12-1. It's a big price. They're going to have lots of opportunities, aren't they, on set pieces. 5-1 for a shot on target as well is something that I like.
And what have you got for us?
Yeah, straight in there, Tielemans to have 2 or more shots in the match at 9-5 for me is a great option for a bet builder. He's had 9 shots in his last 5 Premier League starts. I know he's been playing a bit more of a deeper role for Villa this season, but I just think when you look at how Wolves will be targeting the players to mark, etc., I think Tielemans will be flying under that radar, and he does get forward and into the box.
He is one of them. West Ham drew 1-1 with Villa last time out, and I've obviously watched the whole game of that. And he's one of those weird ones, Tielemans, isn't he, where he's got that, like, he loves a glory dig. He's like, when the shot really isn't on, he loves just trying to pepper one in from 30-odd yards anyway. So I don't hate that at all. Don't forget to let us know what you think of our Premier League bets and what flutters you'll be having on the English top flight this weekend in the comments.
Told you I was right.
OK, gentlemen, so for fans up and down the country, you fancy a non-football flutter this weekend? It's a huge weekend, Sam. We've got some racing and we've got some egg chasing.
If you're in Dublin this weekend, you've got the Dublin Racing Festival and you've got a huge game in the opening round of the Six Nations, Ireland v England.
Saturday night, what a blinding night to be in Temple Bar.
Get me there.
It'd be unbelievable, wouldn't it? But look, starting off with the Dublin Racing Festival, there's only one race for me that I'm looking at that really stands out. Of course, it is the Irish Gold Cup. Galopin Des Champs coming up against Factor File. Now, going into this race on Saturday, the two have had 2 races so far this season, up against each other as well.
Yep.
It's currently 1-1. Both have a win on the scorecards. Galopin Des Champs is the favourite in this one at 4-7. Factor File currently 7-2. Now, whoever wins will likely to see some implication for the Cheltenham Anti-Post Gold Cup market as well. Galopin Des Champs, the favourite at 4-5, going for 3 consecutive Gold Cups in a row, which has only been done 4 times in the race's 100-year history. But you know, if Factor File does win on Saturday, then could shake the market up completely. The Cheltenham Gold Cup, Factor File, 4-1. I think it's a big ask, though. Galopin Des Champs is a really, really strong horse, and it would be a big surprise if it doesn't do the business this weekend.
Nice one, Sam. And the Six Nations kicks off tonight. Wales go to France. Italy go to Scotland on Saturday in the early game. And then England in Dublin, as we've mentioned. 4-5 kickoff on Saturday night. Talk to me about the Six Nations.
It's going to be a really interesting edition of the Six Nations, this one. Obviously, we've got the Lions Tour in the summer, so a lot of players are going to be wanting to play for a place in that. Currently, France are the favourites at 6-4, although they do have quite a few injuries. Ireland could make history and be the only side to win 3 titles in succession when it comes to the competition. So a lot at stake for them. They're currently second favourites at 7-4. Little bit of interest around their coaching situation. Obviously, Andy Farrell's been seconded to the Lions, so we'll see
and he
how
was responsible for so much of their success recently.
Exactly. So a lot to see how that
What
goes.
about England? Have we got hope, Sam? Have England got a hope?
England 4-1 at the minute to win the Six Nations.
It's not great, is it?
It's one of them. They've been there or thereabouts. I mean, 10 losses against the top 4 sides in 11 attempts. That being said, though, the one win they did get in those 11 attempts came in the Six Nations at Twickenham against Ireland, which stopped them winning the Grand Slam last time out.
That would be rankling, won't it?
I tell you what, if Ireland have got an axe to grind against England on Saturday, certainly this is it, isn't it? Massive, massive game. I've had a look at the markets. For me, what's standing out, it's not very patriotic. I've got to put my hands up and apologise, but Ireland -6 is currently even money, and I just think
that is not very patriotic at all.
Revenge on the line. England there or thereabouts. A lot to do still. Ireland -6 even money looks a sound bet to me.
Told you I was right.
Right, well, that's it for this week's episode of Weekend Wager. Make sure you give this video a like. Let us know what you think of our bets in the comments and subscribe to Sunsport's YouTube channel to make sure you never miss an episode. Follow Sunsport and Sunfootball on socials for all your latest clips and news, and we'll see you back here next week. As always, if you're having a bet this weekend, please play responsibly and take time to think. Visit begambleaware.org.